So today, the crypto market's completely the opposite of what it was the last couple of days again. Where just now there was like panic every single day, everywhere. All of a sudden, it's all flipped over. As altcoins right now are pumping, I think XRP is back above 61 cents or so. Bitcoin is back above 60,000, maybe even 61. And it's such a funny thing that I do not mind missing out on a crazy altcoin pump for some random meme, a random 60,000 place meme that goes from 0 to 10 billion in a day. But I do very much mind if I were to miss the crazy Bitcoin move. But I think it's also funny for a lot of you guys. I think everybody has the same way, where your mental completely shifts depending on which coin it is and whether or not you've been involved and you've heard it before or seen it before. Again, I don't care about a random meme pumping like crazy, even if you can feel a little bit of FOMO sometimes, but I don't really care. But as with Bitcoin, I care a lot. And right now, a lot of things have been happening, man. I mean, crazy pump today, crazy shift in enthusiasm. The entirety of Twitter is all of a sudden crazy bullish again. Yesterday, I made a video saying, do not give up. And today, I'll probably make another video of a similar sort by saying, if you just wait long enough, most of these things will come out to the truest form. And it's just like I said yesterday's video. At some point, it's gonna be the run to end all runs in a positive way. And you can see how quickly the paradigm shifts, right? Where today, everything is crazy bullish. Yesterday, everything was crazy bearish. People's minds shift like freaking a day and night switch or whatever the frick it's called. So again, it shifts quickly, it acts quickly, be ready. But then again, I'll keep reminding you that the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF just keeps on increasing. And I think it's one of the main reasons why it's almost impossible to stay low for that long. All these guys that have bought are buying for the longer term. So if you consider that they're buying not for just a week, but they're buying for multiple years. And just now, for example, they had another $100 million inflow day, I believe something along those lines. If they just keep on buying, but almost not really selling, at least not this cycle, maybe not even the next, because they're buying it for the value proposition of being there against the recession and all those small little parts, then what gives us the right, or what makes it a wise idea to get rid of it now? And that's one of the main theses I've got, that even though I still believe, regardless of BlackRock, etc., that the cycle would repeat in a sort of similar fashion, that additionally, on top of it, BlackRock now is accumulating so much on demand of their clients that, first of all, they're going to be approaching the levels of Satoshi very soon. I know it's 1 million, it's still a little bit away. I think they're 1/3 or so of the way. First, they've got Binance to beat, but soon enough, it'll be the case. And if they're not going to let go, eventually that selling pressure that's now out there, I mean, even yesterday I showed you that I think 75% of the Bitcoin has not been moved in 6 months. Soon enough, this will be later and later because they are all waiting for higher Bitcoin prices. By the way, I was just checking, and meme coins are also pumping like absolutely crazy right now as we speak. I think Tron is actually one of the best gainers, partially because some of the meme coins on Tron are specifically doing really well. Not sure if you guys have noticed that, but I also just saw a video of Van Eck, and one of the things that they said is that the big selling, the big Bitcoin selling, is now already behind us. I've seen those titles 1,000 times. I don't trust them anymore, but again, for the most part, it does make sense, like explained in the previous videos, that at some point in the cycle, you're just gonna have to kind of wing it and understand that it can only go down for so long. Damn, I'm black. But anyway, I'll say it again 1,000 times if I have to. Super cycle, it's almost here. Can't be that much further away. And once it comes, you'll know. But you have to prepare before that. If you're only starting to get in to crypto and learn all the basics when it's already there, or already at the top, you're too late. So what I suggest everybody does is, even though you haven't got to commit fully to all the alts, because I said before, the momentum strategy is fine, but you have to know what to do. You have to know how DEX works. You have to know all these different parts. I mean, an XRP, etc. Little fly came into my head. They're all fine to buy at any point, because if it's going to be Bitcoin first, then big alts, then smaller alts, I think it's fine if you're already committed to some of the bigger ones. But the small ones, it's crucial you know how to go about it, but I don't think you have to fully commit just quite yet. I think that could be significantly later. There is one more thing that I'll say though. First of all, when it comes to XRP, it's been a breakout pending for so extremely long, but I do believe the moment that we spike out of this 60 cent or so final barrier, that yes, there's going to be some slight resistances at some points, but for the most part, it's going to be a pretty crazy rise to the top, just like we saw back in 2021, as you can see right here, where the price went from 10 cents to $2 in the span of about a year. I believe the moment we break out now, again, we have a 5 times higher starting point, but it's going to be a similar sort of crazy gain extravaganza, with potentially also, instead of $2, the $10 mark as the end goal. And so the second point I'll make with this is, again, if we take a look at Bitcoin cycles, to me, it becomes quite apparent that it's almost always going to flow in the exact same manner. And I don't think it matters if BlackRock has entered and if they're just accumulating more and more and more. And if we look at VanEck predictions, etc., I don't think it matters too much. You could say they're all biased, yada, 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 yada. But one thing I know is they're not going to let go of their Bitcoin. And second of all, that the majority of people are holding for the long term, as we just saw with the 75% number holding for more than 6 months. So crazy gains, in my opinion, are almost certainly bound to happen. Again, I do not believe we're going to end 2024 below, I'm going to say 2025, below that like 150K mark. I don't see any possibility of that happening. And if that's the case, right, a lot of people don't understand. But if that's the case, oh, this is not so nice. I should quickly turn this off. If that's the case, then we, first of all, have crazy gains to come. But second of all, and this is the most important thing, we're setting a new base for ourselves, where every single cycle, just like you can see right here, there's a level that you at some point never cross below again, right? It's basically a level. In this case, I believe it will be $60,000, where before it was like 7,000 or 8,000 in that cycle, and so forth and so on, that you'll never go below again. That I believe this time around, as I just said, might be at $60,000 or so, where you're going to always wish you had bought back then. And at some point, you got to kind of commit to that reality by saying to yourself, you know what? This is the opportunity of a lifetime. And I don't want to be a guy that's too FOMO-y by telling you, oh, you have to get it now or never again. Because at the end of the day, nobody really knows if it's going to take like 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. All we know is that logically, we've got about a year and a half left before this cycle should be over, if it follows what it did the last couple of times for Bitcoin. And I know institutions joining the game might change things ever so slightly, but I do not think it changes the overall arc of Bitcoin at some point not going below a level anymore, basically below the previous high point with some number of variants. I mean, here, for example, it went below the previous all-time high by a pretty significant number. I think maybe even 50%, so we can't say that. But I guess you can say it will never go below the dip after a bull market. So, for example, here, we had a bull market, we had a crazy dip. In this case here, it never went below the previous high, though. In this case here, we had ourselves a high back in 2017, crazy decline. And again, the next time we had the Corona crash, which caused prices to indeed go below the all-time high, but never below the crash, so never below $3,000 again. Here in this instance here, we had our all-time high back in 2021. We had a crazy dip. In this case here, I'd say the all-time high is not reached, so we can't say. All I do believe, though, is we'll never cross below I'll say we'll never cross below $20,000 per Bitcoin again. But very soon, once we reach that like 200K level, I don't think we'll ever cross below 60, or again, to keep it low, I don't think we're ever going to cross below like $40,000, perhaps 60, perhaps even $70,000 again, just because I think it makes the majority of the sense. But even if it goes slightly lower at some point, right, because you got to go down by about 80% after the bull market, well, that's a problem for us in the future. Right now, though, things are very, very hot. Meme coins are hot. Altcoins are pumping. And the crypto space, it always stays so mysterious. Hopefully, you guys are noticing that too there. If we're looking at the crypto right now, man, everybody yesterday was all panic. Oh, no, we're going down. The cycle's not. And today, all of a sudden, everybody is bullish again. And that's one of the main reasons I love crypto so much. And for the rest, I don't have too much to say. It is crazy warm. Hopefully, you guys can see it a little bit, what it looks like. Central is a very nice place.